Now, more stories, insights, and analysis of Illinois policy and politics. This is Illinois Rising, presented by the Illinois Opportunity Project. Once again, your host, AM 560's Dan Proft.
Dan back with Joe on this edition of Rising, and the Illinois Policy Institute put out a fun little posting this week. We're going to talk about pensions, public sector pensions. The politicians, retired politicians, how much they put in and how much they've gotten out, most of whom were part-time, right? State legislative positions are part-time positions. Aldermanic positions in the city of Chicago, for example, ostensibly part-time positions because you can hold outside work. Looked at a few dozen of names you'll remember. What they paid in, what their total payout has been thus far, and what the annual payout they're enjoying is. Financing the ruling class. That's what middle-income families do in Illinois. So, let's start with governors, shall we? Jim Edgar, J.B. Pritzker's debate prep partner. Let's see, 20 years of service, state rep, secretary of state, governor. He made $164,000 in contributions to his pension. So far, he's been paid out $2.27 million, $165,000 a year in retirement.
So $164,000 paid in over 20 years, and this past year, he got more back than that in retirement.
Yeah. Is that what's happening to you in your retirement? Is that how your 401k works? Mm-hmm. Jim Thompson, his predecessor, $94,000 he paid in over 20 years. So far, he's gotten $3 million back, which is a fairly generous return on investment, I think most people would agree. And his annual payout, $161,000. So he paid $94 in, $161 out at present, $3 million total thus far. I mean, so the Republican Democrat, the number one in terms of annual payout is Art Berman, a Democrat state senator, $250,000 a year, state senator. $109,000 he contributed in over 31 years. He's been paid out $3.3 million, and he's making $250,000 a year in retirement.
That $250,000 a year in retirement is more than double what he was earning as a state senator when he was actually.
Oh, there's no question. Yeah, right. And I mean, it's Republicans and Democrats. It's up and down the list, legislators, constitutional officers. But when you hear these numbers, or you go to illinoispolicy.org and look them up yourself, see who else is on the list that may be a former legislator near you. It's easy to get outraged with politicians. These politicians. Well, their pension system is a Ponzi scheme scam, like the other pension systems locally and statewide. So you can decry the politicians and suggest that politicians shouldn't be receiving pensions, and I would agree with you. But you should apply the same skepticism, moral indignation, and other legitimate feelings of being a pigeon in this system to all of the state pension systems, which work precisely like the General Assembly pension system works.
Absolutely, and look no further than Jim Edgar himself. Not only is he collecting from the legislative pension system, but he's getting $83,000 from the state university retirement system at the same time, which is another broken pension fund. I mean, over the 6 major state pension funds, there are over 19,000 pensioners that are making over $100,000 a year in benefits. And GARS, which is the General Assembly one, might be the worst funded, and politicians are easy to go after, but TRS, SERS, the state university retirement systems, these are all broken. They're all have math just like this, math that who knows how it works. And yeah, like you said, they're all a Ponzi scheme.
And the average state lawmaker, just to sum this as a takeaway, the average state lawmaker with a 6-figure pension, that's a atrocity in itself, but we'll continue, contributed $126,000, takes out $1.5 million. That's average. So let me just say, in case you don't know, guaranteed 14x returns on your pension contributions is something that exists only in Illinois. I mean, the Illinois political ruling class, not obviously the private sector. This is the only place that exists. It's absurd. You would have to save, if you were 401k, I mean, you have to save, contribute, I should say, almost 6 times that to have a guaranteed 1.5 million payout in a 401k traditional IRA.
I think you're being a little unfair though, because I mean, when you look at this list, you have guys like Edgar, Thompson, Emil Jones, Pat Quinn, even Republicans like Dan Rutherford. They've done such a good job. Shouldn't they be rewarded for this kind of?
It's true.
In this way?
It's true. I mean, this is sort of a golden parachute for a job well done,
right,
for a state well served, right?
People still talk about how good of a governor Jim Edgar was. He's on Pritzker's transition team.
Mostly Jim Edgar,
yeah,
and Democrats
talk
about that. That's true. There is something to that. And I mean, you know, can anybody really put a price on honest, visionary public service like has been provided by all of these politicians the Illinois Policy Institute listed out with the numbers? I'll let you know.